Artists don't have to become famous anymore. They don't have to become big. You know, they just have to have little wins. And then you're like, oh wow, thank goodness, like I supported that artist with our brand campaign and they're doing well and now we're part of their story.
Jordan, what is happening? How are you doing today?
I'm good, Sam. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. Welcome back. Business of Talent podcast, where we break down how trends in media, entertainment, and the creator economy are redefining how businesses are built and scaled. I am Sam Heisel, a founding partner at the creative marketing agency Knox Media.
And I'm Jordan, a creator manager and software engineer with over 10 years of experience in the industry.
Amazing. Well, today, very excited. We have a very special guest, Mike Boyd. Mike Boyd is the head of music at VaynerX, a global creative and media agency encompassing various entities, including VaynerMedia, Gallery Media Group, Vayner Sports, amongst others. With over 13 years of experience at VaynerMedia, Boyd has played a pivotal role in overseeing music partnerships and artist relations. Super excited to have him on as he deconstructs navigating the brand X artist or brand X talent partnership landscape. Jordan, what are you particularly excited about in this episode?
I'm really excited for discovering or talking about how he discovers emerging talent. I mean, he introduced Gunna to Gary V. We also talk about what he looks for in creators, the hunger in their voice. And one of the most important things, I think, is that he sends a ladder back down. He knows his place when it comes to discovering artists. He finds them, they go on their way, and then he goes right back down to the bottom of the ladder to help future artists. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to people hearing about today.
Yeah, 1,000%. And on my side, too, I mean, it's really cool just to see it, not only how Boyd has evolved, but how music as a function within the Vayner ecosystem has evolved. I actually had the opportunity and grateful for it to work at VaynerMedia and help build Vayner Talent. Vayner Talent was effectively replicating what Gary V had done with his personal brand for other talent. So Gary has a long time been a pioneer when it comes to personal branding, has Team Gary V, which is effectively a personal content team that's just pumping out ridiculous amounts of content, helping grow his visibility. I mean, Gary Vee was very much, early investor in lots of different social media platforms, and early adopter when it comes to entrepreneurs building their brands on social media. So Vayner Talent was kind of replicating that, helping build top 10 global podcasts, launching books onto the New York Times bestseller list. At the time, though, even grateful to have been able to chop it up with Mike a couple of times. Mike was focused on artist relations, brokering different content collabs with artists and Gary, and helping connect the dots whenever possible. But flash forward to today, I mean, the music department at Vayner is now a proper department that's brokering these brand partnerships between talent and Vayner brands, Vayner client brands, whether it's even, he talks about in the episode, Budweiser campaigns, other Fortune 100 brands. So I think it's been amazing to see how this department has taken shape. I think, Gary has a long time been a kind of proponent and historically would say kind of hip hop rules the world. And I think his stance has evolved a bit, but generally we talk about this too. It's the influence that music has goes far beyond the music that people listen to. So I think brands that are able to thoughtfully and authentically tap into the influence of different artists and musicians can really tap into what can be a very, very powerful form of marketing. And I think Mike helps distill it into how to do this effectively, how to ensure that you're generating meaningful ROI, how to think about casting and bringing in the right artists and fostering this authentic brand alignment. So I think we dive into all that and more. Super excited to have Mike on today's episode. Any other thoughts before we get into it?
And we get to meet one of his artists, Guy, who ends up on the episode near the end of it. We're looking forward to Guy being one of those artists that Mike blows up and then goes right back down to the bottom of the ladder afterwards. So we got some jokes there too. So looking forward to y'all hearing this episode.
Let's go. Let's get it. Well, without any further ado, let's jump into it. Mr. Mike Boyd. Mike, what's happening, brother? Welcome to the show.
Man,
Welcome.
So good to see you guys.
Yeah, man. No, we had you back on the OG Music Business Podcast. It's only right as we relaunch season 2 under the Business of Talent that he's back again.
We've only gotten handsomer.
Exactly. That's right.
More handsome.
With age comes
If we want
beauty.
another podcast, if we want another episode, you just got to launch another podcast.
Yeah.
It's like another podcast. Okay, you got to do another one.
But it's awesome, man. Super excited. And I feel like even you having kind of operated as a manager, as a marketer, I mean, there's a lot of different hats you've worn, but I do feel as we are kind of doing this more holistic show on the business of talent, as music as a practice within Vayner has evolved. You've been very much at the forefront, and I think you have a lot of insight. So I guess for starters, before we dive in, we'd love if you can just kind of trace us back from your journey as kind of somebody that was passionate about music there at the early days of Vayner, managing artists, into what is now being the head of music at VaynerX. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, passionate to music just like everyone else. You know what I mean? Everyone loves music, but my main thing was reaching out and helping people. Helping the artists, helping the emerging artists try to accomplish their goals, you know, and then standing up on their behalf. I remember one time Future said he really respected me because I was the one standing up for him when like people were coming at him, you know, saying he was trash and all that.
Bro, you gotta put that shit in your LinkedIn bio or something, bro. that was a nice drop. I remember that one time Future said, "That's dope. That's dope." How long ago was that? Was that pre Dirty Sprite 2 or post Dirty Sprite 2?
Way before.
Oh,
it was
wow.
pre Dirty Sprite 1.
Damn, dope.
Yeah, Dirty Sprite 1 with Mike Will.
There you go.
Shout out my guy Mike Will. In fact, I'll say this. Me and Future are track 2. It's not a skit, but it's, you know, I was just talking about Mike Will on Mike Will's debut mixtape.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, no way, bro.
You got to go back.
Mike's the most low-key, high-key person I've ever met, bro.
low-key,
It's always been the case.
No, I'm just trying to drop this so I can flex, man.
Yeah,
I'm on
it
here
is.
to flex.
This is what we're here. We're here to help you flex.
This is the platform.
Yeah, exactly.
But so I know back in the day, Vayner was always trying to figure out what is the best way to engage with music. I think there are times when Gary and kind of the Daily V was kind of constantly just having meetings with different musicians. Yeah. It seems now like music as a kind of function and offering within Vayner has kind of formalized quite a bit. Can you talk about like what music at VaynerX is today?
Yeah, definitely. So at first, like you mentioned, for a while, not at first, but for a while, 2016 to maybe 2022, what we were doing was bringing musicians to Gary, and he was meeting them at the right time. Gary loves music, so it was my thing to kind of understand what Gary likes. Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V on social, right? So I was understanding what he liked and then finding the emerging artists in that scene. And if we didn't necessarily have an artist that we could promote publicly for this or that reason, like 21 Savage, we were very early with him because I've known his management forever. But it's not the type of artist where day zero you're able to just post it or bring him in the office and sit down in a client meeting. Like, not really.
Right.
But after he reached a certain level, we could do that all day now. But anyway, we bring artists in at the right time in their career. So if you watch Tierra Whack's meeting with Gary, it was right before her first project dropped, Whack World. People actually were trying to figure out how we got onto her so quick. Like, even her record label, everything. Like, whoa, how did they know about her? How'd they reach out? How'd they find her? And you know what? I remember, because I was just with her manager and we were talking, I found her on someone else's playlist because I'm always listening. You know what I mean? And it was someone who was really tapped in and just in the, like, not in the mix. I would say not in the mix, but someone who was, you know, ahead.
Right.
With a certain genre of artists. Because Tierra Whack is very art focused and, you know, so creative. And so I'm always listening. So when I heard her music, you know, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I believe in her. I watched the music videos and I knew Gary would like it. So I brought her to Gary. And another thing is I'm never trying to bring an artist to Gary. Back then, 2016, 2017, 18, I'm not trying to bring an artist into the office that's going to cause an issue or going to feel like Gary doesn't care or is going to just, if you don't know who Gary is, you really don't have to come to the office, you know, because they're going to be like, why am I here? Like, why am I here?
Right.
You know? So for the longest time, that's what it was. And then when it got hot, musicians wanted to come to meet Gary. So then it was easier. Yeah. So all the music, everyone was coming to us. Then right after the pandemic, we turned it into officially VaynerMusic, like even on the back end where the money gets situated. So that was great. Yeah. Got all these campaigns going.
What's the vision for VaynerMusic for people that don't know?
Yeah. The vision is to continue to help these artists, put on for these young artists, but put them in campaigns. And then we over deliver because we're bringing musicians to the campaigns with our brand clients. And what we say, it's a hard thing to phrase, but it's almost like, I heard someone say it well, where it's like, you tell a musician, we know what you're worth. Like, we know your skill level. Like, we know, we want to respect you because we know and we see it. And everyone else might not see it yet. And they might not think that you're worth a 300 person cap show. They might not think you're worth, like, not a person worth, but like what you're worth in your industry, your value. These people don't know it. But what we want to do is work with them and tell them we know it and we see it and help them get there so everyone else sees it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And from a brand perspective, what do these campaigns end up looking like? I know sometimes maybe it's just music sync in a television commercial. Other times it's casting music to be in a Super Bowl commercial. I know there's other times where you're kind of finding, like the Budweiser campaign, where there's 20 emerging artists. Can you just talk about what are some of the different types of campaigns and maybe one or two examples?
Yeah, the campaigns come from client needs. So the client might say, hey, we need somebody in this region who's going to hit this type of consumer. We need someone who plays instruments, but not too hard. Yeah. I'm just joking. But, you know, like, we need this, we need that. And then I put it together, and me and my team, Tyler Walsh, Marcus in Atlanta, Marcus Griffin. And then there's been other team members, Leandro, shout out to Leandro, Alex, Jada's basically on my team. She just won't admit it. Look her up. Anyway, yeah, we have all these relationships. So then when it comes time to help someone out, normally we know the right people off the bat. Like, when people come to New York City to do their press runs, a lot of times they tap in with us. Right. And now Tyler Walsh, I'm so proud of him, because me, Tyler Walsh, Jada, Ashley on our team, we all had a text thread and we're like, hey, we all got to turn up. We all have to be influencers in the influential people online. And Tyler did it. So these young artists come to meet Tyler. And not just young artists, I have like record label artists and record label digital people. They'll send their artists to meet Tyler, and they don't even know that Tyler works on my team.
Bro, that's crazy.
They don't know.
Bro.
They don't know.
That's
and then
crazy.
Tyler gets the contact. And then we know how to put him in the campaign.
Right.
Or Tyler brings him in the office, and then he's like, hey, this is my boss, blah, blah, blah. So these people think they're just getting an interview, and then they get to meet the whole company, etc. So it's like people are coming direct to me. People are coming in through my team, through Tyler. Ashley has a viral series. Jada is influential in different circles. And then people are going to Gary. So it's coming in from all angles now.
Damn, what a pipeline, man.
Yeah. Just for context too, Tyler, Vayner employee, started a content series where I'll effectively like walk up to different artists on the street, like, hey, what do you do? And then do like a rapid fire interview. But now, I mean, Shabuzi, XYZ, like, it's crazy. It's blown up, goes viral time and time again.
Yeah.
And we met Tyler because he was an OG music business podcast listener. He was in our Discord.
This is
he used
true.
to join our Zoom calls.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's super crazy to see that now.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Yeah. So you have client needs. The other side of it are the musicians' needs. So how do you make sure that the musicians that you work with, they're ready for the opportunities that you bring to them? And when do you know they're ready for those opportunities? And kind of what is the purpose of that in their career? Because you're kind of working on both sides, you know?
Yeah. I'm able to see things from both sides because I used to be a manager and tour manager, manage musicians, producers, video directors. So I see it from their side. I remember what it was like being on tour with no money. I remember what it's like being in the studio with no AC, you know.
Today. It's a little hot in here. I ain't gonna lie.
Uh-oh.
Different kind of studio.
Well,
But
he said, I remember today.
When I was in the studio with no AC. You picked that up. Yeah, bro. But yeah, I mean, when the client needs something, I go to the artist who it's gonna be win-win. You know what I mean? It's not like I try to figure out, are they ready? It's more like, okay, I think this person's gonna be passionate about it or get the truth. You know, for Budweiser, I DM people and I said, do you drink beer? And I said, it's okay if you do not, you know? And some people said, yeah, I drink beer. And then I was like, whoa, what beer? Someone said Budweiser. And I was like, oh my God,
yeah,
this is perfect.
Yeah.
And then some people were like, I don't drink anything. And I'm like, don't worry about it. like I have a lot of campaign work. I pitch you for everything, which is true. But when you word it like that, people feel comfortable telling me the truth, which I need, because if someone lies to me, then we all are gonna lose, because you're not gonna, like, I'll get you working with this brand, like it's a cookie brand or this or that, but then you're eating some other brand 24/7 in the green room, and then the client looks weird, I look weird, the artist is lying to everyone, like such a loss, man.
Pull up, you're like, oh man, what is this? What the hell is this?
Slap the cookie out their hand.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm curious, because I know a lot of we're seeing increasingly more and more brand ad spend shift away from traditional media towards social media, and even from within social media away from like native paid ads within Meta and Instagram towards influencers and creators. From your perspective, what's the benefit or kind of pros and cons of partnering with musicians versus just a more traditional like influencer marketing campaign?
Yeah, I think musicians can be influencers, like influential people. And to me, the benefit is a few things. So one, their fans and followers are a little more dedicated, I think, because they've been with the journey as it grows. And then number two, a musician could get a cosign one day, could get a hit one day, could any of that. You know what I mean? There's just certain moments in a musician's life that they bump another level. Sorry, I don't know.
No, you're good.
You're good.
And basically, let's see here. Yeah, we're a regular influencer, quote unquote, like a person who's influential with a cooking show. They're not going to get co-signed by Drake. They're not going to like go on tour and sell out a room. So it's like the opportunity to like, really hit a lotto ticket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And artists don't have to become famous anymore. They don't have to become big. They just have to have little wins. And then you're like, oh wow, thank goodness, like I supported that artist with our brand campaign and they're doing well and now we're part of their story. You know what I mean?
So that seems like a pretty clear win for the brand. What are you looking for in terms of win for the artist afterwards? Obviously there's money involved, but how else does it contribute to their story in the meantime? Yeah.
So I always try to make it organic, but then what I tell people is add it to your resume. And I'm always like, work with us again, go work with some other agency. I'm always like, I don't care. I was like, but if you do this well, then you have like a starting point also that you could bring anywhere. You do really well with K-Swiss, bring it to Nike. You know what I mean? Instead of just being a person going straight to Nike with no experience, never
like expanding that portfolio a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, no, I love it. And it's interesting too, because I feel like if the brands are aligned well enough, in the same way you allude to the Drake cosign, like the right brand
Drake
cosign
is not like us.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said Drake.
Yeah. I was about to actually question that reference, but that's besides the point. When it comes to the fact that like the right cosign of the right brand, if organic, if aligned, if authentic, can actually be like a notch on the artist's belt. I'm curious though, from a brand perspective, then, like measuring ROI, measuring impact, how do you tend to really showcase the impact you've generated on the different music brand campaigns?
The impact for the brand.
Impact for the brands. Like, how do you quantify the success from like a marketing perspective?
Yeah. It's definitely about the goals, right? So it's hard to prove certain things, obviously, but let's see. One of the campaigns, they wanted to get more people in Nashville to drink out of glass instead of like aluminum cans and all of that. And I mean, it's hard to tell, but these manufacturers, they might see a bump. I got my job done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They were asking me to find the artist, have the artist be influential in their circle,
right,
make a custom song in Nashville, do this, do that. And the artist I found only had 300 monthly streams on Spotify, just 300. And the song he made, I think, was his 4th song on DSPs. Yeah. And since then, he's touring, he signed a record deal, he's really doing great. So in the perspective of finding an artist, supporting them, and then seeing that you made the right deal and you invested in the right person. They won in that.
Yeah, totally.
And then I got them the song.
Right. You might not see that return initially, but it's not like that return has to be immediate.
No. And then they play it in the boardroom.
Yeah.
The employees are motivated.
Yeah.
I mean, if your KPI is like selling out at Walmart, you know, sometimes people say that dog face post where he posted the whatever it was, like that moved units. Yeah. Or like if one of these influencers, one of the big ones, posts something and the video goes viral, your product might sell out, sell off the shelves, you know, at Target. I mean, that would be killer because then you could prove that.
Right. For sure. No, that makes perfect sense. And in that vein too, like what are some of the, if you could just dive deeper into like the Budweiser campaign, or what are some specific campaigns? You could just kind of like speak through the journey of like what the initial objective was and how you ended up working to like accomplish it.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, so VaynerX as a holding company, and we have VaynerMedia, Sasha Group, all of that, and we're global, 15 offices around the world. We wanted to do for us what we do for other clients in making custom music. So the way I see success there, one of the deliverables or KPIs, we want these offices where we make custom songs to be proud of the music, be proud to work at VaynerMedia, and just, you know, feel represented. These artists are local. These artists shoot music videos in the office or in the city, and the artwork is special. So the KPI there, as long as people in the office are singing the song and proud and sharing it with their friends and family, also, you know, then we win. Also, it's just showing these clients how much we believe in our product, that we're going to do it for us too, and spend time and money and research, because it's not like we're selling people something we don't believe in. Like, we're doing it too,
right? Because
it's great, you know?
Yeah, for sure. No, I love that. I think in a couple minutes too, we'll dive deeper into one of those projects. Yeah, right. Keep listening.
Yeah. We're going to circle back.
I know another thing that's interesting around like musicians versus like influencers, content creators is like, I mean, music is culture. Music has so much cultural influence. The influence that musicians have goes far beyond what it is people are actually listening to. Whether it's if artists are passionate about something, then it's not unlikely to believe that they're going to pass that passion off into their fan base. I know it seems like, I think we all, or at least I kind of believe this. I know there's something Gary has said, something you probably said, this notion that like hip hop rules the world. I personally think there is a lot of merit around the like cultural influence of hip hop. I mean, you even see like high fashion as a fine example of like who's walking runway shows during Milan Fashion Week these days, and like that is part of like the playbook of helping grow some of the world's most elite fashion brands. Can you explain kind of this notion of like hip hop rules the world and why you think hip hop is so influential for different brands and marketers?
Yeah. So Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, if you're on social. Yeah, he said that. But you know what? He said that a little bit ago, and he might still stick with it. He might not. But what he was saying, I believe, is that this one subgenre of culture, because, you know, back then when you said the word culture, it was more like often hip hop, you know, understood. Yeah. But now it's like video game culture, all these different cultures, all these different communities, right? And so he said hip hop rules the world. A lot of what Gary said is taken out of context. I don't think that one was, but you know, gotta be careful. But anyway, he even said it to Nipsey Hussle when we were in the studio with Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace. So yeah, I mean, like what you just said, all the things you just said, there's a lot of inspiration taken from hip hop, and hip hop is really amazing. You know, it's not the oldest genre. It's like, it's super fresh. It's super cool. But all the people taking the inspiration are actually like our age, right? And maybe these young people are going to grow up and I'm just saying maybe. There's maybe going to be other cultures from other subgenres that are going to be influential. Like what if in the future, you know, like the hottest regional Mexican artist or country artist or, you know, alternative bedroom pop, what if that's so hot that they're walking runways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Because I think we've only seen, you know, don't quote me, but you know what I mean? Like hip hop rules the world, that quote from Gary. We've seen that, but you know, we don't know what the future is going to hold,
Right.
you know?
Totally.
And it has been a little bit. So it's been rappers that have turned into actors.
Oh yeah.
You know, have big companies on their own right. You know, maybe it is time for things to switch up a little bit. I'm obviously very biased because I'm very into hip hop music, and one of the things that I think is like super interesting about hip hop is whenever like a big hip hop album comes out, we always ask did they go number one, and you can't really say that about like every genre. You can't be like, did they go number one? Like we're talking about number one on the whole Billboard, you know. So
you know what? I got a story about that too. OJ the Juice Man, when he came out with his album.
Okay.
yeah.
What? No.
Yo, what
no,
is you
no,
doing?
I understand. I understand.
The real ones, no.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah, I get it. So I love that reference. Anyway,
Thank you for the clarification.
Oh, yeah.
Put me on blast a second ago.
That's for the viewers to laugh. All right. I'm a dad. Dad jokes.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, OJ, when he came out, you know, what was crazy was his album. Let's say it did 50,000, 25, whatever it was, 25,000 first week. Second week, I think he did 30. Third week, I think he did 35, 40, 50. And that's actually a huge success.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're growing your fan base, gaining awareness. Like he killed it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these artists, number one first week, you know, who knows, right? Label did something, whatever. But it's all hype, right? And then like fall right off. It's like people growing with you is more successful, I think. You know what I mean? Like if I put out a book, I need people to keep buying it.
Right.
Not just like buy it first week and then like, you know, never read again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Education is the future.
Yeah.
Keep reading.
Yeah, bro. I blocked so many apps on my phone in order to read.
I feel that.
I got a question for you. As long as I've known who you are and known you, you've always had a like really good eye for talent. What are some of the things that you look for when you find talent? Yo, he said, yeah, that's what's up.
And just to like
Say,
preface
yeah.
this too, it's like no,
true.
it's facts. But no, for examples too,
That's what
before he
people say.
answers. He had Gunna coming into the office before Gunna was Gunna, like Tierra Whack before, like he said the record labels were like, how'd you find out about her? Because he found out about her first.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, his question, yeah.
I mean, we all like music. We all might not find the best music that other people would like, though. You know, I've definitely, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, I've gotten better and better over time, but I just listen, man. I just listen. Pay attention to who's saying what. Feel the hunger. If I hear the hunger, you know, that's what I like. I like the hunger, like emerging artists who doesn't have a ton of stuff going for them, but I could hear it in their voice, maybe some pain. You know, they have some pain and like their lyrics. I used to say if an artist was saying something that everyone else was saying, but they had a different word or a different lingo, that caught my eye because I'm like, you know what? Everyone's saying it the way Drake said it or whatever. Kendrick, I should say. But everyone's saying it the way Kendrick said it. But then one other person tweaks it. And it's like, whoa, that person is onto something. That person might be part of the city that's actually about to come up. That person represents a bunch of people who don't feel represented because that person speaks like they do.
Right.
Or Future and Thug, they always have the lingo before the lingo takes off. If you've noticed, you know, it's like people who are so tuned in that like when the young people in the neighborhood or wherever start saying something, they hear it. Maybe they didn't leave their city. Maybe they didn't like go to LA and all that stuff. Yeah. Because they're so close to what they grew up with that they hear the differences. But you know what? I'm going to be real. I just listen, man. One time someone told me that there was an artist in the city that was hot. They're like, this is the hottest guy in the city. This song's on fire. And I listened to it. This was a while ago. I didn't hear it. I listened to it 100 times on repeat, just over and over and over. And I couldn't hear it. I just couldn't hear it.
Damn.
I was like, crazy. How are people feeling this? Yeah. And then on the 100th listen or so, I heard it. For real though, I heard it. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
That's what's happening. I was like, that's what people are hearing, like regionally. But I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
That
though?
is crazy, but it's listening intently too, It's different than just passively listening,
Yeah.
Also, I'm from the Midwest, and I went to school in Boston. I live in New York. I toured the USA, 46 states, toured it 3 times, toured Europe. So it's like I've met a lot of people.
Right.
So like, when I don't have to guess too hard what people are acting like in Arizona.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I love it. And I know too.
Shout out to New Jersey.
Yeah, there it is. So I know one of the things that you've always been like a proponent of too is, really finding ways to not only identify awesome emerging talent, but to find ways to support them. It seems like even back when I was at Vayner, there was the moments of like Tierra Whack and finding ways to help with the promo surrounding one of her like first albums and now where she's at today. There's another artist named, Guy, and just this general project where you're working to create music at the different offices. Why is it important to support emerging artists? And are there any kind of timely projects you can shed some light on?
It's great to support the emerging artists because they appreciate it. It's exciting. I'd rather work with an emerging artist than, Drake. I'd work with Kendrick though. I'd rather work with an emerging artist than like, a big shot.
Yeah.
That's boring to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I was thinking about? And I feel weird. I felt really weird about it, but then I understand and I accept it now, is I help these young artists so much and talk to them so often. But then when they get bigger and more established, sometimes I just fade away a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's weird because some of these artists, they feel like I'm their friend. And I try to be a friend. Like I want to be a friend. And I kind of am, except for, I have no friends, don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, I'm always helping the youth so much that some people go on and be great. But it's like, I can't keep helping you because I got to help the young people.
Right.
It's like Monday to Monday is about my playlist.
Yeah.
With Gary and, Tyler Walsh helps a lot now. It was me and Gary, then it was just me. Now it's me and Tyler Walsh, and then Marcus Griffin in Atlanta. He brings some crazy people to the playlist as well. But it's like, I can't put Tierra Whack's new release on the playlist.
Yeah.
Maybe I could put a hot song, and that's just out of respect for her and our relationship. But that's not what the playlist is about.
Right.
It's just not. And so some of these artists, I think, get hot and get big. And I used to feel weird because I'm like, man, I'm not texting that artist all the time. Like, I'm not checking in. I'm not like posting all the time. But I shouldn't feel too weird. In my opinion, I've gotten to that point because you know what? We're an ad agency.
Yeah.
And like in 2024, 2025, things are getting serious out here with the economy and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I can't spend all my time just texting and having fun.
Yeah.
I just can't. You know what I mean?
For
and
sure.
I'm trying to help the people who need help.
Totally.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not just trying to help. I can't help everybody.
Totally.
Like if you make it, congratulations. I still want to like support you. It's just, man, I got to help the next kid. You know
Gotta
what I
send
mean?
the elevator back down.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, we do have a special guest in the building. Guy just sold out his hometown show. Over 250 tickets sold. Up and up. Definitely a lot of amazing things on the horizon. If you want to pull up, by all means.
Yo, the Kendrick jokes are killing me, man.
I'm a comedian,
Well, Guy.
but I'm also serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Guy, so I'm curious from your perspective, like, how'd you come into the mix with Vayner, and how has it been working with Mike and the VaynerX team, and how has that kind of helped the growth in your career?
I mean, shout out to Tyler Walsh. I mean, because it all starts with him. We reached out on socials, like we touched base, and he kind of just told me that he really liked my music. We shot some content together that he's known for, and he gave me a little tour of the office, and he invited me to this thing that Monday to Monday was doing, which was kind of called Pass the Aux. When he invited me, he was kind of like, my boss really wants to meet you. This is actually funny because when I showed up, I saw Mike in the lobby, and I was like, Mike, what's up? And he was like, how you doing? And I was like, well, okay, that wasn't the... I find out later that he didn't even realize that it was me. He was saying, what's up? He just thought I was some influencer.
You said his name?
Yeah, I was like, what up, Mike?
That happens a lot.
He was just like, how's it going?
Like my bro.
Yeah. Did not receive that energy. Did not receive that energy. But it was cool. When he found out it was me, he was like, oh my God. Like, so I played some music in that and people were really feeling it. And the next day I kind of linked up with Mike and we just, he kind of got to know me a little bit more as an artist, as a person. In the following weeks, he reached out to me with this concept of a song and what the plan was that they were doing with their offices, trying to make music that kind of connected all the offices. And I told him it doesn't always happen like this, but right after the call, I just got inspired and I made the song and sent it back like 2 hours after. And he loved it. And then it was just, the process of getting it greenlit. He invited me to VCon. So I went out to VCon and I met a bunch of people. And yeah, that's, since then I've been locked in with this guy. So
that's awesome. No, absolutely love it. And definitely, if you haven't already, definitely be sure to check out the original VaynerX X Guy collab.
Patience is key.
The music video. Patience is key indeed. I know we just got like a minute or two left here. So as we kind of come full circle, I'm curious, what are you most excited about 2025?
Just dropping new music, getting more shows going. I mean, selling out that show with almost 300 people was a big feat for me, I think, because I'm really on the vibe of trying to lift up New Jersey, which is a lot of like what my message is as an artist, because I don't feel like we're really represented in the music scene. So just like being able to get out there, get my hands dirty and bring it back to the city is really what I'm trying to do. So that's what I'm looking forward to. New music coming, new stuff, new campaigns, everything's coming. So
let's get it. More brand collabs with Mike Boyd and VaynerX, hopefully.
Unless he disappears into the night.
Yeah.
Unless you get too famous, bro.
Yeah,
He's got to send
I'll find him.
And then,
he's like, bro, we gonna have fun, bro.
Yeah.
I'm famous, but we gonna have some fun. You coming out
Track
tonight?
him down.
Yeah, exactly.
And lastly, for you, Mike, what are some of the things you're most excited about within music and VaynerX over the course of 2025?
Yeah. Pass the aux, right? I did not invent the words pass, aux, none of that. But Pass the Aux is a show. It's a showcase, I will say. And I've done 20 of them as of this recording, right? And the last 2 were with SoundCloud. Shout out to SoundCloud. They really support artists for real. And they support me because I don't think I could have done these at just anywhere. So Pass the Aux, we get young kids from the city. And then we have select people, right? So you might be in town on your press run. You might pull up, It's gotten that hot. People just pull up.
Yeah, DC the Don just walked in randomly in one of the, it was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Fergie, baby.
He liked the event so much that he actually asked if he could do a song.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's that vibe, like it's real community. It's like real fun, family. For the longest time, I never wanted any label people, any agents, no A&Rs, none of that. Because I want these artists to feel so comfortable. They don't feel like they're pitching themselves. So Pass the Aux events, series, I'm filming some new ones. Like, it's going to be a lot.
Sick, man.
That's dope.
I think we got to close it out.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming to the Business of Talent podcast. Thank you so much. Just, I imagine us being some of the brands that you talked about where we're going to be like, yo, remember that time guy came in?
Yeah,
he was on the podcast. You remember that? When he was selling out that 300 cap show, now he's selling out 3,000, 30,000.
We'll do a recap at MSG. We'll bring the setup over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, you got that on the record, guy.
You got it.
They're going to sign some shit. No, I'm kidding.
I'll sign it, whatever you need.
But thank y'all so much. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having
bro.
me.
Yeah, that's
Nice to meet you.
Yo, that was crazy. Showcase everywhere you can.